afternoon. How are we all doing? Welcome back to another fantastic afternoon of fun. Afternoon, Ian, Steve, ST3, you sound like a stormtrooper. Afternoon, Crum, Gregors, Alan Bay, Julio, Evil, Mark, Mumo, Dougal, Pot, DJ13, again, Howard, Alistair, Virginia, Monkey, how we doing? Evans, Fletch. It's time, Joe. Everybody hit the thumbs. 42 people. I expect at least 21 thumbs. Afternoon, Amy. Right. What's happened this morning? Not an awful lot. So, had the cash rate this morning for the Aussie. Not a massive amount of movement on the Aussie. Pound Swiss just hit 150. We have got a little bit of movement on the pound's had a bit of a fairly decent day. If you look at the Swiss franc, that's had some movement as well, a little bit weak. So there's been a bit of movement around. You can see the main mover today is the pound Swiss, the combination of those two. So that's a nice big ADR there. So I shall be getting in short on the pound Swiss shortly. Entry will be there on the reversal alert as and when. So that'll be a short at some point today. But yeah, so that was the Aussie dollar news. As you can see from the ADR dashboard, there's not really much movement on the Aussie at all today. We've had the construction PMIs in for the pound, which came out as a positive, which might be slightly to do with that pound movement, but it's not massive. We've got PMIs for the CAD this afternoon, and Mester speaking at 5. We've got Macron at 5:45, and then the main news this evening is the unemployment rate for the New Zealand dollar. No news tomorrow, so it's a flat day for news tomorrow. This morning, we've had loads of stuff happening with these Houthis hitting stuff and things, but apart from that, ECB basically saying they're not going to hurry up with their rate cuts, as we know. But apart from that, there's not really been a lot of news this morning. We've had quite a few earnings coming out, but pretty light news-wise apart from that. So nothing exciting on the news front. Indices this morning, no trade on the DAX this morning. Pre-market range was too tight. Post-market, or the 5-minute initial cash balance, was huge. That was way over, as you can see, the max range is 293, so basically 30 points. We had 32 points at the open, so that was too big. You would have just about got a 2R out of it if you did take that 5-minute ORB today, and it was very clean, straight down. So if you did take the ORB today with the opening range breakout EA, or if you're using different settings with SIH, you had a nice profit there. But as you can see, the same thing has happened today as seems to happen pretty much every day at the moment. We are just going up and down and not going anywhere. FTSE, nice clean trade this morning. Pre-market range break straight up to target. Second part out, it's pretty much break even. So nice easy one this morning on the FTSE. It did get up to 3R, then came back down, and then basically we are back exactly where we started. Again, nothing moving. These markets are just shocking at the moment, as you can see. Yeah, that's the FTSE, and that's the DAX. We're just not going anywhere. So we'll see how we get on with the US this afternoon. But a little bit of bank this morning. What did I get? A whopping $80. Woo! Big money, big prizes. Afternoon, Gav, Themba, Day Trader, Neo, Matt, how you doing? Rico, Brian. Was working on my business plan. Good for you. So looking at the US indices, we've got 4 minutes to the open. There's not really much happened in Globex on the NASDAQ. As you can see, nice tight Globex session. If you look at these previous days on the NASDAQ, Globex open Globex. Open. Globex. What do you think we're going to get today? Maybe something like that? It's just like clockwork. It's like a heartbeat at the moment, isn't it? But not going anywhere. We are slightly grinding up, but as you can see, we are completely sideways on the Dow. We are completely sideways on the S&P. The market, considering we're coming out the back of earnings fortnight, I'm just shocked we're not getting any volume. But so we are getting movement at the open. So we'll see where we go today with these, but market's very flat at the minute. So ADRs today, there is only one ADR to look at, pound Swiss, which I shall be getting into shortly. That's 150 ADR. So a nice big push up into a double top. If that's the high of the week, which was where we basically opened on Monday last week. So it's not a very good high at all. But this whole area here is support resistance. So we may well get just a pullback down into range from there. So I'll be short in that one. Failing that, we'll be looking for a second position at 225 ADR. RSI extensions today, there is only the one US dollar Swiss 4 hour. So that is extended to the upside. I'm in short one already from the H1M5 mean reversion off the back of the unemployment rate. So I'm looking for that move back down into test this propulsion area. Haven't put a TP on that one. So yeah, that's your only RSI extension. There's nothing to look at, is there? This thing's flat as a pancake. So I'll go through the trades in a minute. Banked a little bit on hedging. Oh, you're kidding me. Closing Aussie dollar Swiss. I'm not having that. Hit TP. Spread didn't get me out. Taking that off. Right. So we'll see where we got the open. 30 seconds to go. Afternoon, Sarah. Finally getting a chance to exit the DAX hedge. Oh, you got hedge this morning, did you? Yeah. Well, that one went right past you. Sorry, I'm late. I'm working on my business plan. Oh, from that bloke. I didn't watch the video, Brian. That bloke that's... I don't know. I didn't even see what it was. So good luck, though, if you're going to go down that route. Why not? Everyone else is. No pre-markets. Okay, so no pre-market trades taken today. Range is too small. Pre-market range on the NASDAQ 140. Pre-market 22 on the Dow and 26. So tiny pre-market ranges, way less than 10%. So if you are taking these pre-markets, the advantage of taking these really tight pre-markets is you can hit TP very, very easily. So as you can see, that's 1.5 hour, maybe even 2 hour hit within seconds. Same there. You've got at least 1 hour on the short and 1 hour on the long. Downsides to taking these pre-markets, which is why I don't take them when they're this tight, is you'll often get that and then it will go, which means you just get hedged all the time. So statistics show that anything less than 10% pre-market ranges tend to be, or 10% ranges in general, tend to be higher level hedges, higher degree of hedging. So we will trade the 5-minute opening range breaks today. If we don't get too big movement. Afternoon, Johannes. Outro, IT, David. I think I've managed to get FX Blue working. So this is the Liveroom portfolio account. Which shows open orders. And it shows you which strategy it is. So I've got this, I think I've got it working. I'm just testing it to make sure it updates properly, but it does seem to be working. So if I can get this, so if it is working, I can get it embedded onto the website. That was crossed for a long time, those fingers. So yeah, but it seems to be working. Shows closed trades, open trades, everything. So I'm hoping there's 3 different accounts here: MST, MST2, and MST3. That's H1M5 mean reversion. That's ADR reversals. That's hedging. So, and then you can look at each individual account on its own as well. I don't know why it defaults to that balance. That's cumulative profit is one you want to see, isn't it? Not the balance. But look, all the orders are in there, so it is actually working. So I've changed the way that it does an account sync. So hopefully that'll work, but we'll see. Anyway, work in progress. Right, 1.5 minutes to go. Pre-market ranges don't look bad. So I will be getting on the S&P. Dow looks good. That looks good. So yeah, we'll take the 5-minute ORBs in a minute. Afternoon, Kennelly. And then we'll have a look at the FX side of things. So we just wait for this initial cash balance to go in, and then we'll wait for the, and then we'll go and have a look at the FX and see where everything is. There you go. So this is why taking those pre-markets is so dangerous. Look, big move up, big move down. Yeah, big move down, big move up. So if you don't hit target on that first initial cash balance move, it just hedges. So it's better to wait for the opening range to go in and then take the break of the opening range. Okay, there's your 5-minute ranges. No trade on the Dow. So Dow range too tight, too high. So 9.3 on a 7.2. So 7 points is 20% of the average daily range, or 72, depending how you measure it. And that's too big. So that's more than 20% of its average daily range gone in there, which makes it hard to get a 2R out of it. So 2R, you would need to achieve an average daily range hit just to get a 2R return. So it's not really worth taking that one today. But we will be on the I will be on the S&P and the NASDAQ. So short NASDAQ. S&P still inside range. So looking at the downside today, so it's going to be a very similar trade to yesterday and the day before. If we do break short, which basically that move down, and then we come back up into the market, and obviously it can then go and make a new high or stay where it is. So if we do break short today, if we look at what we've done this week so far, we're literally putting in 158 point drop, 150. So somewhere just shy of yesterday's low, if we're going to continue this kind of push-pull scenario that we seem to be in at the moment, is what we'd look to achieve. So when we get to 2R, might just trail the stop down by 1R and just keep it tight. We don't seem to be able to do anything at the moment. No movement on the S&P yet. Dow hasn't managed to get out the highs either. Right, we'll come back to that in a minute. So, there's, yeah, as I said, there's nothing to look at from an analysis point of view. We haven't had much movement yesterday, and we haven't had a huge amount of movement today. So obviously the ADRs, there's just the one at the moment on that pound Swiss to have a look at, which I will be getting into. So that's going to be a nice entry short when we get the reversal alert, which is really tight now. The actual reversal is going to be at 150 ADR. So, so target wise to the downside on that. I mean, I would probably put my target down there, which is going to be an ADR, but whether or not I hold it to ADR, I don't know. May well go a little bit lighter than that. Don't forget, this is ADR reversals are meant to be an intraday, maybe 2-day strategy ideally. So the idea being in, out, done as fast as you possibly can. So we'll see what happens with that one. It hasn't triggered the entry yet, so we'll wait for that. So H1, still no entry on the S&P. So H1 M5 mean reversion, nothing banked today, just banked one yesterday, which was, I went through these this morning, but US dollar, no, Euro pound banked yesterday again. So this Euro pound stuck in it at the minute. This is exactly why I got out. Look, so the initial entry was up here somewhere, and I've been scaling into it. Took that one off. Added it back on, took it off again, added it back on, took it off again. Perfect exit. I'm going to add it back on and I'll take it off again. And I'll just keep banking this thing. If it's going to continue just to do this, I'll just keep banking it over and over again. If we do break down, obviously, then we'll deal with it. But this thing's just stuck. So I took it off again yesterday. That's the only thing I managed to get off. Everything else is just... You know, we're just not moving anywhere. I've got ADRs going off by the sounds of things. Euro pound, ADR, Aussie dollar Swiss, ADR. This Swiss franc and euro are getting hammered. Look. So, I know. Well, the euro is dropping, but it's the Swiss franc mainly. So we got euro pounds. So big, strong pound move going in. We had some news on the pound. No, I mean the only thing I can think is it's they're moving off these construction PMIs, but I mean we never normally bother about construction. So anyway, so yeah, euro pound is ADR hit to the downside. That's my TP just about to get hit. I'm just taking it off because it seems to be sitting on it without closing it. So euro pound out the short. So that was the ADR hit there. That was 125 ADR out. And obviously, if it pushes down to here, we'll get in again. Aussie dollar Swiss ADR. So that's an ADR hit to the upside. Again, drop down M5. Wait for the reversal alert. Wait for the bears to start to sell and get in short. I need that to go a bit further because I'm trading 125 ADR extensions, not 100s. But yeah, good couple of opportunities today. God, that's going to be tight now. Look. So we're getting in immediately on that drop because we just had a bear candle that's made a new high. So that'd be a nice tight entry. Yeah, so we'll see how that one gets on. But there's your ADRs. There's no weeklies. There's no monthlies to look at the moment. So on this account, so yeah, that's all I closed out yesterday on that account. There's nothing to close out at the moment here. Euro Swiss is getting close on the H1 M5. To me, maybe thinking about closing this out. At the minute, I'm just kind of grabbing everything I can get, which is over 0.25%, because the market is so sideways and so flat. Trying to wait for something to actually move enough to get 0.5% profit out of it is hard work. So this is why this doesn't bank much this month. It's just grinding away. Everything is just grinding away. So if we get up to ADR today, that will put that into about 0.3, 0.4. So I'll just grab that off because target is up in that propulsion gap, which hopefully it will hit. But I'm just worried about it hitting this area here. Look, got this low we hit, broke it, resistance, resistance, So ADR today is that potential support resistance, which we might find limit triggers at. So might get out of it. But we'll see. ADR reversals banked 0.26 yesterday, banked 0.41 this morning, up 3.8 on the month. There's a couple there. You just see me close that one out. That whatever it was, I just closed. Euro pound. So just close that at Euro pound short. Got Aussie dollar CAD, which is wasn't far away from target this morning. We got up to there. My target was up a little bit higher towards ADR, and it's just pulled back, but it seems to be holding this level at the moment. So hopefully this reversal alert here is going to form that new high, that new higher low, and then we'll push up into target. And CAD yen is the other one. That one nearly hit target. Well, this morning it was in this propulsion gap, and then it kind of bounced away, and we're hitting this propulsion. So they are rebuying this level at the moment. But I'm going to hold it and see if we can get down to there. I don't mind holding anything short against the yen at the moment, because any moment the yen, the Japanese could open their mouths and tank it. So that's just sitting in 4%. Let me just quickly check. God. Long on the S&P. So one of these, at least one of these is going to hedge, because if it breaks long, that will break. If it breaks short, that will hedge. One of these is going to hedge. Yesterday was an absolute milk it. We cleared up across the board yesterday, and profit coming out of my backside. Today, just not going anywhere, is it? It's just what it does. Take the money when it's there. When it's not, you just have to sit through it. So Aussie dollar Swiss, just closed that one out. Up 9.9% on the month. Hedging, banked 136 yesterday, banked 0.78 so far today. Aussie dollar Swiss being one of them. Also banked pound odd this morning. So that was that short there. Out. Only literally purely banked it because it was about 0.4, 0.5%. Nothing much else there apart from euro pound. Take it off. It's a single position. Just put it in the bank. Nothing much else there particularly exciting to bank. New Zealand dollar Swiss. So I'm trying to play that up into those highs up there. We'll watch this one if we get an ADR hit on it today, because we're making lower highs. So this could well be an area we drop from. We're just in a little down channel at the moment, but nice reversal. So just seeing if we can double top that area there. So anything New Zealand dollar you've got on at the moment, obviously bear in mind overnight we've got, or basically 15 minutes before the swap, we've got the New Zealand news tonight. So anything New Zealand dollar on any of my accounts that is sitting in profit will be banked just before the news. So yeah, that's everything that's running. So up 10%, 4%, and 1 and a bit. And that ain't going anywhere. Outro. Profit's profit. At least it's not an L month. Nope. There's like zero movement on indices. Yeah, it's just dead today again. It'll pick up. The Dow's the only one, isn't it? It's a sod's law in it. The only one I'm not on is the one that goes. Just the way it is, isn't it? Always. Always. As soon as you get out, it flies. Don't get on it, it flies. Get in it, sits there for half an hour and does nothing. The usual. But, you know, I mean, this is why we don't trade when you've got big ranges like this, Because, yeah, this looks like a whacking great move, doesn't it? But on that initial cash balance candle, you haven't even got 1R yet. You haven't even moved 1R reward. So if you'd long that, you literally 1R. It's not even a break-even trade, is it? So just hit that 1R level. Whereas on the pre-market, if you'd have taken the pre-market, I don't think I've got the right fib on this for risk-reward. No. But yeah, I mean, on a pre-market range, if you'd have taken that with a bit of an offset, probably a bit bigger than that. One, two, three, 4.5 R. So literally 5R target in 15 minutes, pretty much, isn't it? But most of the time, like you said, you would have got hedged on it. So you wouldn't have got your 2R target. So therefore, price would have pushed down and hedged you. So you would actually be in a hedge and exiting at 5R there. It's not great. I don't take them. But that is the only thing moving. Oh, here we go. So NASDAQ's off. So probably going to hedge on the S&P. See what happens. Afternoon, Alan. What's the biggest drawdown you saw on your strats? I don't know. I don't keep a track. DAX moving, is it? Yeah, DAX is off. So it's running with the Dow. Look, DAX and the Dow very similar in the fact that they've both got motor stocks in there. There's only 30 stocks, 40 stocks in each, so they're both very correlated. Similar sectors. Quick question. Downloaded the MRA EA demo and downloaded your H1M5 set file. How do you turn off the hedge? It's using a stop. How do I turn it off? Well, none of my set files have got stops at all. But if you don't want to use a stop, that's in the just in the settings, basically. So down here, you've got an input called use fake stop loss to calculate lot sizing. When that's set to true, it would automatically delete the stop loss. All my set files use that because I don't use stops. So all my set files are position trading set files. So use fake stop loss to calculate lot sizing, set to true. So what it will do is it will, if you're using a percentage risk, as I do, based on average daily range. So this basically risks 0.1% over half an ADR of movement. So it basically places the order with a stop loss at half an ADR to calculate the lot size it should use, and then immediately deletes the stop loss. You can't turn off. You can turn off hedging if you don't want it to trade in both directions. You can set it to go long or short only and not both. If you want it to just trade in one direction, but it will only trade in the direction. I mean, it's very hard to get hedged. If you're using H1M5, it's very hard to get hedged. If you think about it, think about how the market moves and why the strategy very rarely get. I mean, you'll very, very rarely ever see me hedged on this strategy. Yeah. Look at an RSI. Extended. Yeah. So I got in there, added, out. For you to go long, right? So we've entered short there. For you to go long and hedge, the RSI has to be extended to the downside to get you into a long trade. If you haven't got out of your shorts by the time you get extended on RSI, there's something wrong. Yeah, it's in profit. Yeah. And then we flip long. So you get out by the time the RSI, you know, there are the odd instance where you'll get extended on RSI. You'll take the entry, you'll take a second, you might take a third, and then the market will move sideways for days, weeks on end. The RSI will then get reset back to midline, and then it will push down ever so slightly, but not enough to get you out of your trade. And then it will have a kick, which doesn't quite get you out because you might be spaced too far apart where your break even's too far, or it's just not enough profit, whatever reason. And then you will get a long signal and it will hedge you. But at the end of the day, its job is to take RSI extensions and M5 reversal alerts, and that's exactly what it's doing. So if you want it to definitely not hedge, you can change the settings to long or short only. So if it gets into a short like this and you definitely don't want to go long, you could set it to just take shorts only. Then it won't take any longs. But I mean, it's very rare that you would get hedged on this. I have every now and again. I think I did I think it was November. I think I had a hedge on one. I seem to remember last year I had a hedge on one on H1M5, but it's not often. Okay, Dow's pushed down to 1R. S&P's obviously just pushed into the inside of the range, but no movement. How did testing go on the position trading EA? Good. Yes, very good. Very, 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 very good. I'll show you in a minute. Don't think the smaller range would allow you to get out of the hedge easier. Sometimes yes, sometimes no. Right, imagine this scenario, Brian. Yeah, you took the hedge there, right? And then it flew up to 5R. You get out at 5R. Look how far away you are to ADR. This thing's got way more movement. The fact that it's come out the gates that fast and that hard towards ADR, yeah, the danger is you are getting out. When you've got a tiny hedge, a tiny range, you've got your target is much closer, much less distance. So the average daily range is a lot further away. The idea behind using 10% to 20% of ADR is 5 times 20% is 100. Yeah. So if you're taking a 20% of average daily range, 5R will be roughly ADR. We spend 58% of the time within ADR. So if you take these tight ones, what I found in the testing was if you got hedged, if you didn't get hedged, I mean, it's a phenomenal amount of money, but you do get hedged way more than you don't. And on those times, if you get out at 5R and it pushes to 125 ADR, you're going to be 15R in drawdown on that short. That's painful, massively painful. So when I finish with the new EA that I'm building, I'm going to build in an automatic re-hedge mechanism into this, just so that I can test re-hedging in increments of probably 2R to see if there's a way of getting that to work. And if that does work out, that might be a more viable strategy. But it will get hedged a lot more. So I just need to do some testing on it. But that's the problem with it. You get something that goes to 150 ADR, for example, and you've got out at 5R, which turns out to be less than half an ADR of movement, that thing's going to kill you. 20R in debt, it's just going to be awful. Toyota has seen a big move today. Yeah, we had quite a few stocks released this morning. Eli Lilly, BP, Estee Lauder, Toyota hikes annual profit forecast. UBS, BP. That might be why we've got the rally on the pound. Nintendo. Does anybody really still use Nintendos? Right, so the hedging set file, I think I just covered that, didn't I? Yeah. So, yeah, covered the hedging. Keep an eye on that. Thoughts on use of a bank loan to trade MRA and build your own capital? Up to you. I'm not a financial advisor. How you get capital is entirely up to you. Although I wouldn't borrow money you can't afford to lose. Every penny you put into this market and every penny you put into your broker can vanish. So if you can't afford it, don't use it. It's no different to a business. Yeah, if you're going to set yourself up full-time trading, it's no different to you setting yourself up as a small business. You need capital. What do most people do when they start a small business? They get a loan. So yeah, you could get a loan. But I don't know what the statistics are at the moment. %of new businesses fail in the first 2 years of being open, 45% during the first 5, and 65% during the first 10. Yeah. So let's say 50 people, there's 100 people in here. Let's say 50 of you all go and take a bank loan out. 25 of you are going to lose the lot within a couple of years. Not a great idea. But I don't know. How you get capital is up to you. I personally started my trading career on a credit card. I lost it. So obviously everybody blows their first few accounts. I've blown many accounts. Yeah, I mean, I racked up thousands of pounds worth of debt on a credit card through trying to do this. Mainly because you get a run and you go, I've cracked it. But that run needs to be 3 months at least. Your strategy needs to have traded through multiple market conditions. It needs to have been robust and lasted 3 months with you following it to the T. And even then, was that a lucky 3 months? Did you go with a long-only strategy as the S&P was going into a rally for 6 months? What happens when you go into a bear market? Yeah, I mean, hopefully pound Swiss on the turn. Yeah, there we go. So I'll be in pound Swiss ADR short. There we go. In. So there's a reversal alert. In short. So target on that. I'll go for ADR. Just until the prop market proves me wrong, that's what we're doing. So that's what I'm doing. Yeah, I mean, it's just going up and down all the time. It's not going anywhere, is it? So as long as it's doing that. And obviously, if we are putting in new market structure, we've got a double bottom here, although that is a broker candle. So it's a double bottom, but, it's kind of ever so slightly coming up. This is a rounding bottom look, potentially. And if that is the case, you've got a new high, and we're looking for a higher low. So anywhere above this level is going to be a higher low. That's the last propulsion move out of the accumulation that started the rally today. So we'll see if we can retest that area and bounce out of it. And that happens to be ADR, that propulsion gap. So let's see if we can get there. Gem retesting the low of the day. Max out your credit cards, yeah. Pod DJ from $59 account to $158. Money Train, good man. That's a big increase, though. That's a 300% increase. How long's that over? Yeah, realistic. You are not going to 300% your account. If I have a really good year, I might return 150. Yeah. You've just done 300 on that account because you don't care. This is the problem. If you trade with a $59 account, it's not real, is it? I spend more than that going out for a meal. So if I can stick $59 in there, I'm just going to go, whatever, buy. 160, close. Brilliant. Is that trading or is that gambling? If you're going to do this, do it with an amount of money that is you want to lose. It took you 3 months, so you're giving 100% return a month. Never going to sustain it. There isn't a trader on the planet that returns 100% a month. Honestly. There's plenty of gamblers that can do it. For your automated strats, is there any minimum, maximum amount of money you need to run it? I would suggest a minimum of 3 to 5K. Just because you've got to be able to get the lot size on. With the hedging strategy, probably less. Because you will build a bank faster. Oh, bugger. Wasn't watching. Should have taken the NAS off down there. We'll see if we can get another kick down on the NAS, but that was too close to target. Normally, I would manually close that. It's getting that close to target. I'm wanting out in case it comes back up. S&P is going to hedge. Oh, it already is. S&P's hedged. So S&P downside target. I'm going to move to yesterday's low, which would be about 3.5 R. Upside target, weekly high. Well, that's not very far, is it? Mind you, we're not moving very far, are we? So, a little bit risky, the upside. Upside target on the S&P is just under 3R. So, it's not far to move to the upside. But the fact that we've moved all the way down here, if you think about it, to actually get back up to there, it's got to, we're down at 1R on the break. So that's got to move up 4R to get there. So, which is about 80% of average daily range. So that's achievable. Downside is 4R, yesterday's low. See if we can get to one of those. And hopefully NASDAQ will just hit target. And then that's paid for that anyway, so it doesn't matter. Yeah, so with any consistently profitable strategy, you're not going to return. I mean, a seriously good trader will return maybe 15 to 25% a month regularly. Maybe. I mean, that's pushing it, really pushing it. On a single strategy, this is. So if you think about what you want to get out of trading, so you shouldn't really ever look at how much money do I need to run an EA? How much money do you want to earn? That's what you need to look at. If you look at earning somewhere between 5 to 15%, average out at 10, yeah, earning 10% a month. If you want to earn $3,000 a month with anything, you need to have a 30K account. If you want to earn $300 a month as a extra income, you need a $3,000 account. If you're happy making $30 a month to buy all your coffee, you only need a $300 account. Yeah. So always look at what you need to run anything on what is it going to return you? Yeah. And that's the way to look at it. Yeah. If you want to earn, like somebody in the Telegram group the other day was saying, oh, I need to earn 60 grand a year. So if you need to earn 60 grand in a year, call it 6 grand a month. What do you need as a starting balance? 60 grand. So if you want to earn whatever basically, if you look at it with trading, whatever you want to earn a year, you need that as capital, because you're going to make about 10%-ish a month on average, because some months the market's going to kill you and you're going to lose. Some months the market's going to give you a fortune. Other months it's going to be mediocre and you make 3 or 4%. It's not down to you what you make. It's down to what the market does. So, yeah, that's a good way of looking at it. 100 grand. If you want to earn 100 grand a year, you need a 100 grand account. Realistically. Or if you want to be high stakes, there's nothing wrong with trading high stakes if you're really good. If I go in on this account with 100 grand, that's going to be showing, 1,400 profit. That's my mortgage. But this is high risk, high volatility, we're trading 5-minute chop. We're trading algorithmic chop, which is completely random. We're looking for a momentum move on algorithmic bank movement. Yeah, it's totally random. There's absolutely no way you can predict it. You can predict where the market is going to turn based on where it's turned. That's all you have. Previous resistance often turns into resistance again. Previous support will often turn into support because the market has orders placed at those levels. So when we hit them, we bounce. Whether we bounce and drop or whether we bounce and retest the other end is entirely up to the market. Isn't it? When anyone asks me about trading capital, I just tell them to consider it once. Consider it gone once you deposit it. Yeah. Are you going to show me the position trading EA? Oh, yeah. I was just waiting to see. I just wanted to see if this NASDAQ hits. If it goes bull, I'm getting out. Oh, there you go. I'm out. TP hit. NASDAQ. I'm not going to go for 5R. I'm going to go for yesterday's low. I'm just going to go for 3 and a bit R. Got that propulsion gap in the way at ADR as well, which is 4R. So I'm going to see if I can get that out the second half. I'm just going to pull the second position down into that low. Yeah, we bought from that loads and loads and loads. We've broken through it. So see if we retest it. So out the NAS. S&P obviously is on its way down. I'm trading with 3K and aiming for 1% a day. 1%. Yeah, I mean, 1% is 20% a month. This is why I say in the bootcamp, if you can achieve 0.5% a day, that's 10% a month. If you can achieve that, which sounds like nothing, this is why you see me in here, constantly banking, 0.35, 0.27, 0.6, 0.4, yeah. If I can do this every day and get the odd day where you get the 2%ers, the 1%ers, the 3%ers. I had a 6%er last week, didn't I? We had a massive movement. Everything played out on the same day. Bang, banked the lot. But if you can do that on a daily basis, that's 10% a month. 10% a month is more than 99% of traders you'll ever see on any forum or any Telegram group or any Discord channel making? They're losing money. Yeah. If you can bank 5% without using a stop loss a day, you got 10% a month. If you can do that for 3 months, you've shown yourself you can do it. Then put some money in. But if you do it with an amount of money you're willing to risk to start with that is going to hurt you, you'll do it properly. If you trade a demo account with 100 grand in it, right, and you're only ever going to start trading with 5 grand, what the hell are you doing trading a 100 grand account? It's total fun money. It's not real. No demo account is real. But if you put 3 grand in the game, you won't want to lose that 3 grand. You'll have real emotions attached to that P&L. You'll make real decisions based on that P&L because that is real money. Yeah. So trade with an amount that you are going to trade with, and 1% a day is achievable. I've had, last year, I had 25% months. Yeah, 21.7. But I probably only had 3 of them. 20%, 1% a day is tough. But then again, I never go into, and this is the other way you got to look at it. I'm a really conservative trader, as you know. I never go into more than 15% drawdown on my account to achieve these results. If I went into 30% drawdown on my account, I would double my results. However, let's say I go into 30% drawdown and then there is a massive news announcement that pushes the market hard against me. I'm sitting in 50, 60, 70% drawdown. I can't afford to lose it. It's my money. It's my income. It's different to when you're playing around with 3 grand on a credit card. It's a totally different thing to needing to pay your mortgage, feed your kids, and pay the car. It's a different game. You've got to have enough skin in the game to actually get the emotions, because this is an emotional business. It's what it's all about. Fish and chips and bollocks. Did you cover why the market is acting so strange today? What do you mean acting strange? No. Don't see the market acting strange. It's just going up and down. What's so strange about it? I can't see anything strange. Anybody else spotted anything strange? It's just moving up and down. So you make around about 100% a year. Yeah, on average, it varies. What's the best, worst year I've had? I don't know. Over 100 and under 100. I'm not. I really don't keep track of that. I mean, I can show you. Well, I'm not going to show you my tax returns, but they show, because obviously they have to declare it all to Linear Revenue rather than my broker does. So yeah, aim for 0.5% a day, and the more is a bonus. Yeah, Steve, what you earn is how long you can hold positions for. I'm sitting in CAD Yen. This is a great example. I will show the other EA in a minute. AZ. If right, I'm sitting in this CAD Yen at the moment with 0.24 I can bank. I've got 0.41 banked today already. So whether or not I bank 1% today is dependent on whether I close that now, or I let it go to TP, or I go, this looks like it's ranging, I'm going to put my TP down to there. That decision on this one instrument is the difference between me making 0.41, 0.65, and 1.3. It's how long you can hold a position for. I have absolutely no idea if this thing is going to do that or that. And this is why it's impossible to say make X a day in this job, because you make what the market gives you based on where you put the TPs. Everybody's going to get a different result. So, it's impossible to tell. But 0.5% a day is a good target, isn't it? 10% a month. But it's only a target, and it's an average over a period of time. So if you look at the P&L there, right, so there's right here, this one, there's a 2.5% day. There's a 1.93% day. But that is 2 days. I may not have another day like that this month. But over the entire month, I will average around about 0.5% a day, which is 10% a month. How you get there is not a straight line. Your P&L doesn't look like that on a daily basis. Beginning of the month, end of the month. Your P&L looks like this. Mine does anyway. Yeah. Non-farm payroll, bank 6.5%. Non-farm payroll, going to drawdown for a week because I'm on the wrong side of it. I don't know if I'm on the right or the wrong side of any news event. How can you? You don't know what the news event is going to be and which way the market's going to go. So you eke it out over the period of time. This is this saying that you will have heard many times in your trading. However long you've been trading, you've heard this saying before. Focus on the process. Yeah. The process is waiting for this to go green and putting it down there. That's my job. Yeah. The EA executes the strategy. The process for me is banking. That's it. The market takes care of whether or not the drawdown goes up or down. That is it. The market's job is to deliver this or make it hard. This you have no control over. So the only thing you can control is the process of banking money. That is it. That's all you do. You never know when. US dollar yen's dropping. Yeah, CAD yen's dropping as well. So yen strength coming through across the board. Biden's just about to go begging to Congress for more money. So this explains why the Swiss franc is powering up and the yen. US dollar down. The euro US dollar will be popping. Pound US dollar will be popping. So money moving into safe havens because the US is going bankrupt again. Ask John, he'll know. Yeah, John knows which way the market's going. Do you ever use spreadsheet accounts to avoid the tax? You can't avoid tax. Your broker reports your earnings to the HMRC if you're in the UK. You don't have a choice. It's not as if you can go, yeah, and just stick that under the rug because you don't accept cash. You're not a window cleaner. It's all digital. US dollar drops. Yeah. Do you have a favorite pair? No. You trade what moves. Right. Yeah, the new EA. So basically, be working on it this morning, just fine tuning stuff. So basically, I haven't done any of the aggressive drawdown or drawdown control functionality yet. Basic functionality is working. So at the moment, all we're doing is literally taking things like ADR reversals. Very simple. So all the basic stuff. So at the moment, I think I got this set to 80%. Yeah, so ADR 80% trigger at the minute. Ignore that. That's just all testing. So there's an ADR long. And you can see it's got an ADR trigger there as to tell you whether or not you are ready to get into an ADR trade or not based on what you're setting. You can set that to whatever you like, ADR. So at the moment, I'm using 80%, but if you put it to 100%, obviously you'll be trading 100% of ADR. And it will adjust automatically. So okay, so that's now ADR. Using an ADR trigger. There's also a hedging mode. So allow multi-direction trading, which is set to true at the moment. So if you set that to false, basically it will not allow hedging. So if you saw on this last one, it's deleted everything off, but there was an ADR low and an ADR high line. The ADR high line remains intact so that you could get hedged if it moves up and down. So this one, basically, because hedging is turned off, it will now remove the ADR trigger short. So this cannot do anything but go long now. It cannot take short trades. So for those that don't want to hedge, automatically puts in your next position. So it's scaling your entries for you automatically. This is set to half an ADR, so it won't take any other trades long until we hit half an ADR. So it gets you nicely spaced out. So it's exactly the same as the market reverse alerts EA. But from a idiot's point of view, I just want to see if this gets out. I've just been working on the exit. Oh, it's not enough profit yet. Need to push up a bit more. Okay. So from an idiot's perspective, remember, this is why I'm building this AZ, for idiots. People that don't like complexity in their life. Not idiots. People that want it easy. Yeah. Okay. So, do you want to hedge? Yes or no? Do you want to trade only with buttons on the chart? Yes or no? Do you want to trade the ADR reversal strategy? Yes or no? Do you want to trade the RSI reversal strategy? Yes or no? Start. There we go. It's that easy. 4 questions to answer. But you can also set up which RSI you want to use for higher time frame and the levels, and you can set the ADR level you want, and you can set whether or not you want a lot multiplier scaling in, and you can set how far apart your entries are, and you can set your profit targets. That's it. There is none of the other crap, because that's what we do as position. Well, that's what I do as position trader. I don't do anything else. I am going to build in auto aggressive drawdown control. So it will automatically increase the lot size to an aggressive entry after a percentage drawdown. And I am also going to put automatic drawdown control in there. I think. However, I'm really not a fan. After having traded it last year with auto DD control and then switching back over to manual, I make way more money manually than I do with auto DD, because you take a lot of losses you don't need. So we could have, and probably the best way to do it actually would be to use a trigger on number of trades. I will not want to trigger any drawdown control until I'm in at least 3 positions. If I'm in 3 positions, I know I'm at least 1.5 ADR into drawdown, and then maybe start doing drawdown control. So I'm going to think about that. I don't really want to use it. But, so yeah, so there you go. So all functionality is tested. All functionality is working. I've got to test it on multiple brokers to make sure that it does all the calculations correctly. And I've got to build an MT5 version, which I might do, might not. But yeah, there you go. You don't pay tax on spread betting. No, you don't. Oh, see what you mean? Yes, spread bet, not spreadsheet. Yes. Yeah. Yeah, you don't pay tax on spread betting if it's not your income. So yeah, but it's my income, so I can't, can I? The way the law works in the UK is you don't pay tax on gambling earnings unless your gambling earnings surpass your income. So if you earn 30 grand a year and you earn 40 grand a year trading, you are a trader. Yeah, therefore you have to pay tax on everything. So even if you're spread betting and you are spread betting and that is your main income, you are classed as a professional gambler and you have to pay tax on that income. Professional gamblers, if I went to the horses today and into the bookmakers and I made 100 grand on a horse race and that is more than my income, I wouldn't have to pay tax on it if it's a one-off. If I made 100 grand every 3 months betting, the taxman would be going, you make more money gambling than you do out of your job, you're a gambler. That's exactly the same for trading. Go and talk to an accountant. There is a loophole up to a point, but when you start making enough money, they don't let you have it for free. It's the government. Come on. Frowny face, blue screen of death just hit my PC again. Oh my God. Is new PC, Brian? Or new Windows installation? So what's the trigger to enter a trade? Moving average. At the moment. So everything is moving average entry. I might trade it, but my testing, I've got to do testing yet. So I might put some other entry criteria in there. Speaking as an idiot and representing other idiots, it looks great. Yeah, an idiot friendly. The idea being, I don't want anybody coming to me saying what's the best set file. Just set it on to trade it. Set it on. What do you want to do? ADR or RSI? Yeah. Which is the best RSI setting? The default. Which is the best ADR setting? The default. Because I don't know which one it's going to be. So just select yes to the one you want and press the button. And then come back to me if you're not making money in a month, because that's what I do in here all day long, and I just make money. So if you're not making money in a month, come back and we'll have a look at some set files. Hopefully no one will ever come back. What I'm trying to stop is everyone going, I've just got the EA, there's 60 inputs. Which one do I use for? That's what I'm trying to stop, basically. It's so simple trading. It's just not needing to be that complicated. Is position trading classed as a tax avoidance scheme? No. You can't avoid tax. Where are you guys avoiding tax? Obviously, if you live in Dubai or Jersey or somewhere else, fine. But there's no tax avoidance with trading. Your broker, I mean, if you don't know this, I suggest you pay attention. Your broker every month sends you a statement. That goes also to HMRC in the UK. Yeah. They are legally obliged by law to report everything. It's part of the FCA, Financial Conduct Authority regulation. Yeah. So if you have money in a brokerage account right now and it's higher than it was when you started, they know. You don't avoid it. You can't avoid it. If you put your tax return in and you say you've earned 50 grand and you've got 100 grand's worth of reported earnings in your trading account, there is a little system that goes, they're not correct. Have a look at this, and you get inspected. That's the way it works. So try not to think about avoiding anything. Yeah. Try to think about making so much money that you didn't give a monkeys about giving 40% of it to the tax man. That's how you should be looking at trading. 40%. It sounds horrible when you say it, doesn't it? Did you have manual buttons turned off? Yes, because that's in the strategy tester. The buttons don't work in the strategy tester because it's the strategy tester. It's for automated. It's for testing automation, not for manual trading. Just going to lock in a bit more profit on the NASDAQ, just above that propulsion gap. In case we're bouncing out of the lows here. Basically, that's the pre-market low on the S&P, which we've just hit. Limit orders have just triggered. So we might be popping back up again. Good way to conceptualize how much capital you need is to take how much your yearly earnings would be and divide it by 252. Take that number and add 3 zeros. The easiest way is just to, the easiest way is to just take whatever you want to earn a year. That's your balance. Assume that you're going to double your account in a year. That's the realistic way to look at it. If you've got a 50 grand account, assume at the end of the year you're going to have 100. That's if you compound it as well, potentially. Yeah. If you're taking it out every month or every quarter, don't forget that balance is going to just keep jumping down again. Will it have the option of pure hedging without RSI and ADR? No. No, it won't have an option for pure hedging. Never knew that bit about paying tax if your spread betting is your main income. Yeah. Yeah. If you're making more money trading than you are income at the moment, go and speak to an accountant before you get the knock on the door. Pees me off the way MT4 runs fine on a broker, and then like today, Robo Forex MT4 keeps freezing and responds every 5 minutes. You can always refresh in the bottom right-hand corner. You can rescan servers. You might be connected to a dodgy server. They might be having a problem with a server or something. You should try trading with the Apple Vision Pros. What are they? What, computers? Yeah. Just trade through an L Limited and pay only 20%. Yeah, Paolo, there's a big hole in that. Yeah. Don't forget, the limited company pays 20% tax. Yeah. How do you get your money out? Dividend. What do you pay tax on the dividend? 20%. What are you paying? 40%. 20 by the limited, 20 by you personally. There is no difference in being a limited company, apart from the fact that you pay yourself in dividends rather than just having money drawn out into your bank account. Go and talk to an accountant. Everybody's circumstances is different. If you own a limited company, i.e., let's say you run a window cleaning company, which is a limited company, yeah, you will draw dividends out of that company and probably a salary as well. Yeah, so you will pay 40% on those dividends depending on what range it is, and 20% on those dividends if it's lower tax. Yeah, if you then start another limited company up and draw dividends from that, you pay 40% on all those dividends. Better off being self-employed. But speak to an accountant. I'm not an accountant. Everyone's got personal circumstances of difference, but there's lots of different ways you can pay yourself and set yourself up. What I would say is, though, until you're earning 50 grand a year trading, forget it. Yeah. You don't need to worry about any of this unless you are consistently profitable. 99% of people aren't consistently profitable. So worrying about tax is irrelevant until you're actually making a load of money. Come back, talk about tax when you've had 6 months consistent profit and all of a sudden you're going, holy crap, I can make a living out of this. Then talk to an accountant. Otherwise, forget about it. It's irrelevant. It doesn't matter. Or whatever your income is. Let's say you earn 40 grand a year. Yeah. Unless you make 40 grand profit over a period of 6 to 12 months, forget about it. It doesn't matter. But it does matter because you should be declaring whatever you're earning. But anyway, Brian's still doing maths. Look, you would need 23,800 to make 238 daily at 1%. Is that a new VR set in the corner of your office? No. Does it look like a VR headset? It's a back massager. VR headset. This is a VR headset. Unfortunately, now I can't see you. That's for when I'm VR trading, obviously, which is never. Yeah. Makes your eyes go weird. Are you doing CFDs, not spread betting? Yeah, these are CFDs. So different tax rules. Yeah. Yeah, I can't advise you on tax. I know nothing about tax. I can't advise you on anything. But Tax, definitely not. 7% up to, I think, 50k personal salary. Dividend. Who knows? I know I'm overdoing it with the new EA, but to be able to trade H1M5 with extra manual entries just sounds so perfect. Yeah. That's why I'm building it, AZ. That first one looks like new Apple Vision. Yes. That's really good, though, the massager. Put it on, just hold it like that, and it's like, yeah. And it heats up as well. It's really good. I had a trapped nerve in my neck. My C6 nerve got trapped last year, and it was the most unbelievable pain I've ever had in my entire life. So I had to get a massager. But yeah, anyway. Right. We are stalling out for the last 30 minutes on the NASDAQ. S&P is back to the start. So might get another leg down. But, you know, looking at, like I said earlier, NASDAQ, that's what we did. That's what we did. That's what we've done. So, you know, that is kind of where we're going with current movement. So I wouldn't be surprised if we just pull back up. Whether we break out the highs today, we'll have to wait and see. So if you look at the NASDAQ from 2 days ago, we did exactly that. And then we broke out the highs. Yesterday, we didn't. Today, we're either going to do that or we're going to break out the highs, aren't we? So we'll see what happens. But that basically at the moment is going to pay for the hedge plus a bit. And obviously I banked this morning, so it's not an amazing day. But it's we'll see if we go anywhere with the S&P. The S&P is struggling at the moment, as everything is, so we'll see. Have I watched Game of Thrones? Yes, of course I have. Multiple times. I've been through The Walking Dead 3 times. I've been Game of Thrones through that twice. I've been through The Last of Us 3 times. And House of Dragon twice. New sport. Cheese rolling while wearing a VI headset. You're dead, basically, aren't you? I wouldn't mind going cheese. That's a good concept for a VR game. Cheese rolling. That would scare the life out of you. Cheese rolling in a VR headset. Oh my God. Talk about throw up. If anybody's got a VR headset and you haven't tried it, try playing something like Elite Dangerous or any flight sim in VR, like Microsoft Flight Sim or whatever. The nausea. Some people get really nauseous. I'm one of those people. So playing games like The Walking Dead, I've got The Walking Dead Saints and Sinners. After about 20 minutes, just need to throw up. So I'm not very good in VR. Any game sitting down, like poker, fine. But oh God, it's brilliant. That is a Valve headset, so it's quite an expensive. About 1,600 quid it was when I bought it. So it's a pretty good one, but they've gone way better than that now. So yeah, my son's got the Oculus Quest. Yeah, that's what he's got. Yeah. But that's a Valve Index, which is kind of well, it was. I mean, that's 2 years old now. Half-Life Alyx, best game ever. Right, so I'm going to leave you there. There's not a lot else to look at, really. We've got no movement at the moment for the last half an hour. We're either going to put another leg down, in which case then brilliant, TP at yesterday's low, and TP1 S&P at yesterday's low if we get a new leg down. If not, we may well stay in rotation today. There is no news until New Zealand dollar this afternoon, or rather this evening. We've got Macklem speaking at 5:45. So just looking at the FX market, that US dollar weakness is holding at the moment. Yen's pulling back a little bit. So that yen rally that we had starting seems to have stalled out a bit, but that is a decent move on the yen. So we might get a follow through and continuation on that yen drop. But, you know, as you can see, we're not really going anywhere at the moment on anything. So anything that gets to literally 1/4%, 1/3% or so, I'm literally just sticking it in the bank at the moment. Just because the market's so weak. There you go. That was so close. Just going to take it. 0.3. So that puts me up to 0.76 on the day. Nice easy in out. That's an ADR reversal. So any ADR reversals, 1/3 to 1/2 an ADR is a good target. That's 62. 43 is 1/2 an ADR. So that's about 3/4 of an ADR. It's worth taking. Aussie dollar CAD as well. That market structure looks really nice on that, so I'm going to hold that. I think we've got a good chance of coming up and retesting this propulsion. So accumulation. So let's see if we can get up there. Sorry, wait 1 sec. One sec. Sorry, I'm just talking to someone else. So yeah, see how we get on today. But that Aussie CAD may well get banked. And I'm just going to keep an eye on everything on the hedging because I just want to keep banking this regularly just to keep the drawdown under control. 1.1 done on the day so far, so up to 10.2. So I'll keep banking some of that. Euro yen. There's a few bits and pieces which are 1/4%. So I'll go through those in a minute, but they're mainly going to be yen based. And I still like yen's short. Still think that yen is going to power up at some point, especially if we get any conflict or any issues. Money will drive into the yen. So there's a lot of that potentially on the table. Seems I missed your response to the new EA. Will it have the option of pure hedging? No. It will hedge if the conditions are met. But it will need to be an ADR or it will need to be an RSI. It's position trading EA. It's not hedging EA. But there is an option to go both directions. But if you want it to hedge, you can set it. You could set it to hedge very easily. So if you want it to hedge, just use RSI. Yeah. So just say a bit like I've got here, RSI 55 high, 45 low. If we set it to use the same time frame as you're trading on, like the 5-minute chart, basically what it will do is it will go long and short. Did I turn hedge mode on? No, that would help. So yeah, I mean, you can use it to do some kind of hedging. There you go. So that's gone long. Wait for the RSI to get extended to the upside. Which is not going to, obviously, because I'm now doing it here. It's not going to give us an RSI trigger, is it? No, just got out the trade. Typical. But yeah, anyway, basically, so it uses, there you go. So there's an RSI long because that was extended below the 45 level, I think it set it to. So if we get a push above 55 on RSI, you'll see the ADR trigger go short. It's not going to do it. But you can do it if you want to. But it will use RSI. So, but it's the clue's in the name. It's a position trading EA, not a hedging EA. But there is an option to hedge. One of the things I get asked a lot is how do you stop it trading in the opposite direction? Yeah, so that is what that is. Do you want to trade multi-direction? I.e., if the EA, based on your settings, takes a long, are you happy for it to go the other way if it gets an opposite signal? Yes or no? That's basically all it is. I'm happy to do that because I'm trading proper RSI extensions. It's highly unlikely I would ever get into a hedge. But if you want to be hedging, set your requirements lower. That's it. Have I seen the new Apple Vision Pro? No. Not yet. Oh, I have seen it, yeah, but yeah, not haven't actually seen it. I don't know if it's out yet. Is it? You said 1 to 200 minimum leverage. Robo Forex offers 2,000. Do you use 2,000? No, don't need it. 1 to 100, 1 to 200 is more than enough. You'll never, ever use that leverage because you'll be bankrupt. 1 to 200 leverage, you'll pretty much have all of your account in drawdown before you get a margin call. So 1 to 500 is more than enough. Don't recall from the Bootcamp if you touched it, but wonder if you prefer 125 to 100. Whatever. I'm trading 125 at the moment. 100 is absolutely fine. The reason I'm trading 125 is because I'm running 3 accounts with 3 separate strategies, and I want to make sure that there's a little differential on the ADR reversals. So if I use 100 ADR, you'll often get 100 ADR with an RSI extension. So I want to make sure it's gone much further. So because I'm trading 3 strategies, I want to make sure that I'm taking the best possible trades rather than just the mediocre ones. So I want to make sure the market's really gone somewhere beyond 125. Yeah, 75% of the time it doesn't go beyond that level. So if it has, there's a good strong reason to get in. We hit ADR 42% of the time. So, you know, a couple of times a week you'll be up there. Much less likely to get up there. So it's just that little extra squeeze. There's nothing wrong with 100 ADR at all. The settings I was running previously were running on 100. So, right, I'm going now. Bye. Anybody needs anything, let me know. I'll be in Telegram. Other than that, I'll be back tomorrow morning, same time, 7:50 and 2:20 in the afternoon for New York. Bear in mind, New Zealand tonight. If you've got any New Zealand positions, bank them, put them in the bank, because if you don't put it in the bank, you can lose it. Hit the thumbs before you go. It is helping the stream. We're getting more people in, which is good. So yeah, bear in mind you got that tonight. So just watch your New Zealand dollar pairs before that news comes out, and hopefully we'll get some movement tomorrow. But no news, so we'll see what happens. All right, have a good evening. Anything you need, let me know. Otherwise, I will see you next time. Have a good one.